Back on Inside Tennessee, we heard from the Democrats. It's now time to hear from the incumbent in this office, Republican Mayor Glenn Jacobs. Mayor, we're pleased to have you. And first of all, let's talk about why you're running for a second term.
Well, thanks for having me on. Well, the reason I'm running for a second term is very simple. Knox County is a great place to live, to work, and raise a family. I think that we have incredible things in store for us in the future, and I would like to be a part of that. It's been an honor for me for my last 4 years to be in this position. I think that we've been able to achieve some really good things, and I think that Knox County is going to achieve some really great things in the future. I just want to be a part of it.
Mayor, one of the things you've talked about that will be on your agenda is density and housing density and what you do about the influx of people that are coming here. We asked the Democrats their opinions about how to handle that. What, from your perspective, is the best way forward when it comes to density and housing?
Sure. I think that we have to understand, first of all, that when folks are moving here, that indicates we're a great place to live. So I don't look at that as a problem. If you go through, say, the Rust Belt, where folks are moving out of, that's a problem. But we do have challenges as far as how do we accommodate these people and how do we make sure that it doesn't disrupt the lives of people that already live here. One thing that we're doing, I think the most important thing, is our Advanced Knox initiative, which is updating our land use plans and master transportation plan, which hasn't been done in over 20 years. And what that has caused to happen is a lot of the sprawl that we see, the fact that we can't have like certain retail in areas where it's appropriate. We can't have the density in areas where it's appropriate. So what happens is we see a lot of single family units just going everywhere just because we can't concentrate them in one area. And of course that also hurts us as far as our infrastructure, because what we really like to do is, ensure that the roads and schools are where we need them instead of having things spread out all over the place, which ends up in a lot more infrastructure costs than we certainly would like.
Mayor, following up on that, John and I were talking off camera about the fact that right now, this moment in time, I think we will look back on and say, do you remember back in 2022 when growth was taking off and demand for infrastructure was taking off? You touched on that, but I'm wondering, you're working on your budget right now for the new year, but I'm wondering if you're thinking, hey, I better plan, if I'm going to be mayor for several more years, on even putting more money into infrastructure like roads, that kind of thing.
Well, we certainly are, and that's where the Advanced Knox initiative comes in, is determining where those things need to go based on what we're seeing as far as growth patterns. The state just put in money for improvements at 3 interchanges in Knox County, at Emory Road, Campbell Station Road, and Watt Road, and those are certainly welcome. And then also, we work a lot with the state on state routes. And in many cases, folks don't realize that the big arteries in Knox County are not Knox County roads; those are state roads. But what we have to do is work with the state in order to put those on priority of what TDOT is going to do with their capital plans in the future.
Mayor, there's almost universal agreement that people want to pay teachers and deputies more, that their salaries in Knox County lag what are the salaries in surrounding counties. Do you have a way to attack that problem proactively to say, here's how in the next 4 years we're going to ensure that we're at least at the level that our competing counties are at and perhaps above that?
Well, when we look at the deputies with the Knox County Sheriff's Office, I think they're going to have some very good news coming up in the budget. And we've been working with the sheriff on addressing that issue. And then, of course, with schools, we're at a bit of a disadvantage compared to many other places because of the money that the state provides for our schools, and then the services that we're expected to provide. Because we're a larger county, we have to do a lot of things that other smaller counties might not have to do. And what happens then is we become a donor county, meaning that the money that Knox County pays into the system, we receive much less of that back. And we're working with schools, again, to try to address that as much as we can, but that's sort of a systemic and structural issue that really is at the state level.
Mayor, the homeless in Knox County, what more, if anything, needs to be done?
Well, that has become a big issue, as we all know. The root cause of homelessness, the root issue here is mental health and addiction. One thing that we're doing, I'm very pleased to be working with Mayor Kincannon and the McNabb Center on a new mental health facility in Knox County, be the first one in 10 years at the old St. Mary's campus, as well as we also have some other mental health private facilities coming to the area, and I think that will help. We're also working on establishing a mental health court here in Knox County. We're the only of the large counties in the state of Tennessee that does not have a mental health court. And currently, a lot of folks that have mental health issues end up in our detention facility, which doesn't do anyone any good, doesn't help the problem, actually exacerbates the problem. So when we look at the long-term issue, or the long-term solutions, those have to do with mental health and addiction. On the short term, we were also partnering with the city, Visit Knoxville, and the Downtown Business Alliance with a program called K-Town Connect, which is working with a group called Block by Block, which is a national organization that works with things like cleanups, but also they have ambassadors downtown. We'll be helping folks visiting downtown to get the information that they want, but also working with people that need help to get them into the services or connect them to the services that can provide that help.
One bill in the legislature, to that point, would make camping, not just on state land, but any public land, a felony. Do you agree with that move by the legislature? Is this also a law enforcement problem in addition to what you described as a community health problem?
I don't think it makes it a felony. I think it makes it a Class C misdemeanor, but I might be wrong. But in any case, that's something that we looked at as well, because that has become a problem. We've seen a lot of vandalism, and the fact that our taxpayers paid to keep our parks up, and then sometimes they feel uncomfortable about things that are happening in our parks, and that's something we have to address. So yes, there is a law enforcement component to it. Everybody should remember, though, that ultimately they can arrest folks for the sheriff can arrest folks for whatever, but they're going to be right back out again. So we really need to concentrate on the longer term issues.
Mayor, we only have about 20 seconds left. Your top issue for the next 4 years, if you're reelected?
Well, for me, it's always about jobs and economic opportunity. Yes, we've seen a lot of people come to our area. We've also seen 2,500 jobs created and over $217 million in economic investment. And what that means is more opportunity for people to better their lives. And I think that's the most important thing that any of us can help facilitate.
Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs, we appreciate the time. Best of luck, and we'll be in touch down the trail, sir.
Thank you.